This week on Africa Weekly, we're focusing on Nigeria, where a banker has put up his own streetlights as President Buhari promises to tackle the blackouts. We'll head to Uganda to discover how a new app is making the motorcycle taxi industry safer. And finally, a trip to the shores of Senegal. Long known as a surfer's paradise, more and more locals are coming on board. But first, a summary of the headlines this week. Burundi's opposition says it plans to boycott the upcoming elections, which are due to take place on Monday. Opposition politicians say a fair vote will be impossible after weeks of violence over President Pierre Nkurunziza's bid for a third mandate. Despite several top officials fleeing the country, the president has pressed on with his campaign. In Nigeria, more than 40 people were shot dead by suspected Boko Haram gunmen earlier this week. Elsewhere in the country, 10 people were killed by a child suicide bomber in a busy market. The girl carrying the explosives is thought to have been just 12 years old. Rwandan intelligence chief Emmanuel Karenzi Karake was arrested and then released on bail in London. He was detained on a Spanish arrest warrant for crimes of terrorism dating back to the 1990s. In Rwanda, over 300 people gathered in front of the British Embassy to protest against his detention. On Thursday, Mozambique marked 40 years of independence from Portugal. Some 40,000 people celebrated in the streets, but the festivities were shunned by the opposition. A landmark peace deal has been signed in Mali. The Tuareg-led rebel alliance added its signature to the accord, which aims to put an end to years of unrest and ethnic divide. Nigeria's new president, Muhammadu Buhari, has pledged to improve access to electricity. Half the population lacks power, but corruption and mismanagement in the energy sector might stand in the way of Buhari's privatization plans.
Power cuts darken every aspect of Nigerians' lives. The country produces just over 1% of the electricity it needs. But in this Lagos suburb, things are about to improve. Bodi Edun is a banker who set up a charity that installs street lamps in Oshodi, a neighborhood that's often plunged into darkness.
If we have light at night, like all over the world, we have night markets. It's going to enhance the economical aspect, the social aspect. If we have light at night, people will be free to go around the community.
Newly appointed President Muhammadu Buhari has put the electricity problem as a priority on his 4-year term. While Nigeria is one of the leading oil producers in Africa, gas is in short supply. And part of the problem is that most plants are powered by gas.
If we continue along the line of a gas-powered plant, we may experience, or we may continue to experience a regular lockdown of the country from time to time. So with a renewable energy, I think it will offer us that opportunities to really try something new.
Most Nigerians are fed up with waiting for the state to resolve the problem. Many rely on generators which use a lot of fuel, which is why projects like Edun's are so important.
We can move freely at night, to walk at night easily. And we can see ourselves, see people coming from far away.
Nigeria's new president is in talks with the United States to implement a privatization plan that would increase power supply. But it might not be the best option. Privatization 2 years ago led to corruption and strikes. With more than half of the Nigerian population lacking access to electricity, no solution will be easy.
Taxi motorcycles called Boda Boda are the main form of transport in Kampala. During rush hour, when the cars and buses are stuck in jams, they're often the only ones moving. All drivers and passengers should wear helmets in Uganda, but the law is often ignored and accidents happen frequently. Former Boda Boda driver Ricky Rapa, co-founder of Safe Boda, carries a scar as a reminder of a crash. He says it's difficult to convince drivers to slow down.
So the biggest problem when we get drivers is changing their mentality and their mindset, because already some of them are so much used to not wearing helmet. and we try to change this. We don't look at it as a problem, it's a challenge that we are working on, and the drivers are very happy, they are accepting us.
There are around 100 safe Boda drivers operating in Kampala, as well as wearing helmets themselves. They also carry one for passengers. Drivers receive training in first aid, road safety, customer service and bike maintenance. By the end of the year, there should be 1,000 of them. And safety pays off. Edward Wakabi has been a Boda Boda driver for 10 years. He joined the Safe Boda team the last year.
I got more trustful because even if I were at home, some other customers, they call me, Eddie, where are you? You come and take me because we are safe. We fear. Because some other customers, they board those some other bodas. Others, they are thieves. Others, they move with knives at night. So people, they fear to move with them.
Motorcycle taxis are popular in many African towns, and the safer version is attracting attention in other countries as well.
We started in Kampala, and when we started, we already got some requests from other places, like in Kenya and in West Africa, for us to come there and provide a safe Boda service there. So we're very interested in Africa in general. The market is growing. It's 4 to 5 million motorcycle taxis. It's a lifeblood of cities in Africa. So we think our solution can go there. So we're very excited about that.
Safe Boda is gaining popularity. About 100 drivers cater to around 2,000 clients a day. Some use a smartphone app to contact drivers, others find them along their route. But although most of the passengers can be persuaded to wear helmets, not everyone's hairstyle will fit.
With its 700 kilometers of coastline, a capital exposed to waves the whole year round, Senegal has long been known as a surfer's paradise. But despite being popular with travelers, it's taken a while for locals to get on board. Now Dakar boasts 8 surf schools attended by youngsters like Nora and her friends.
It's good. There's a nice sensation and we have fun in the water. We don't always have to catch a wave. Like now, there are no waves.
Nora is towed by 37-year-old Omar Say, one of Senegal's surfing pioneers. Born in a poor fishing district of Dakar, he learned to surf with foreigners and became the first Senegalese to sign a professional contract. He now runs a surf school, encouraging young enthusiasts to take up the sport.
We lack the support of the sports minister, so that the federation has the means to hold national competitions, because the national competitions help us find the best surfers to represent the country in other competitions. It's the sports minister who needs to act. It's the minister who must be strong.
But surfing is expensive. A board costs at least 150 euros, 3 times a monthly minimum wage. The country's surfing federation counts on clubs and local surfing champions to democratize the sport.
It's true that they don't all have the latest surfboards, but the clubs, and particularly the Ngorowa clubs, do all they can to provide youngsters with the material to allow them to progress.
Bodyboarder Emric Senghor organizes an annual competition, but locals are outnumbered by foreigners since many don't get taught how to swim.
It's clearly easier if you already know how to swim. That's where we have to teach more people, to help more Senegalese discover the ocean, learn how to swim, and discover the joys of bodyboarding or surfing.
As judges mark the surfers taking part in the competition, Senegal itself hopes to get top marks, not only for attracting foreigners, but also for raising a new generation of surfboarders here.
In South Africa, veterans from the 1995 Rugby World Cup winning team celebrated the 20th anniversary of their historic victory. Join us next week when we'll be in Cameroon, where rising oil prices have pushed locals to use a cheaper fuel alternative, plastic. And we visit Timbuktu in the north of Mali, where masons are drawing on traditional techniques to rebuild mausoleums destroyed by Islamists in 2012. That's all from us at Africa Weekly. Join us next week.